It is my fault we are late. Hello, this is
Oh,
Lori over here.
this is Sam over here. I was waiting for an intro, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'll just sit back and relax.
Yes, I'm sorry. I don't have an intro. No, my
No, that's
bad. And
that's
I
okay.
looked up and I'm like, oh, it's 8:01. My bad. I'm late. I'm
Hello,
late.
Deb. Welcome.
Yes. Deb is hoping to knit one day. I have a
Oh,
couple motivations to knit. Mostly it's there's a classic Irish fisherman's sweater
all
that's
right.
would be much
The
better in knit than crochet, but like much better, and use a lot less yarn, therefore be less heavy and all that. So
mm,
that's one of my goals. Obviously, that's not happening tonight.
no,
Um, that would be insane.
you are you speaking of the Guernsey? I
Maybe.
think it's where it's got a pattern at the like the yoke, the top half from the armpits up has a pattern, and the top half of the sleeves have the pattern, but the bottom half of the jumper and the bottom half of the sleeves is like straight sort of knitting.
Oh, no, it's like
No?
cables. It's like 3 or 4 different styles of cable.
Oh, okay. All right. So that would be called an Aran knit, like in a
Aran
cream.
knit. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you're after now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Very tricky, but well,
Yes. It won't be
fun to
happening
do.
tonight.
No.
Yes. Hi, Ellie. I'm
Oh,
trying to
hello, Ellie. Yeah.
my
How you going?
chat is
Oh,
not
Zach's
loading.
here. Hello, Zach.
I'm trying to get the chat. Okay, Zach. Yeah, so this
Okay.
is very strange. That's why. My cursor was over Zach's name, so I wasn't seeing the comment.
Oh,
And so I was like, where's
yeah.
Zach? But I've got it on the phone as well. Okay,
Mm.
I'm going to talk about this yarn that I chose and why I chose this yarn. There you go.
Okay.
That's my
Yep.
phone's commentary on it. Um, I know it's almost the same color as my skin. Sorry about that. Um, and we both have pink, which is funny. So
Oh, mine's
Hadija.
mine's a variegated, so mine
Oh,
will
it's
change.
variegated. Yours is going to change. I chose this because it's like the chain. It's like
Mm-hmm.
chain spun or whatever they
Oh,
call it.
it's like, yeah, chain spun. Oh, I love chain spun yarn. That's what I usually use.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Because
I'm
I
using
didn't want
wool.
it. Yeah, I was worried about splitting it and
Mm.
catching strands and stuff. So I felt like, hi, Grammy Rita, and hi, Jay.
I
Um,
read it, Jay.
that by using a chain spun, I would have a better chance at not constantly splitting my yarn as a
Mm.
newbie to the knitting. That was my thinking.
Yeah.
So
I mean, really, your needles have more to do with that. If you are ever knitting and you find your yarn is splitting,
yeah,
change needles. Now, by when I say change needles, I don't mean go from a aluminium
right,
millimeter needle to another aluminium 4 millimeter needle. I mean, go
right.
from an aluminium 4 millimeter needle to a wooden 4 millimeter, or an acrylic 4 millimeter, or a sharper point, or a duller point, or something different like that, because all the points of all the needles are very different.
Right.
These are addies. They are quite pointy, which I
Yeah.
do like. Oh, I'm not in the. Am I? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you're good.
Yep. They're quite pointy for a needle. And actually, this is back to front. I will look left-handed on this. That's
Oh, no,
okay.
you look right-handed to me.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I do look on the
Yeah.
TV. Sorry, I keep looking at the screen on the camera. That'll pro me. All right. Yeah. So now I'm actually using. This is a funny Addy. It is called. I'll show you what they're called. They are Addy Novel, and they are supposed to be lace needles with ergonomic design for and effortless holding and knitting. Yeah, that's just bad translation there, I think. But what they are, luxury for the hands. Um, yeah, they're like four sides, but there's no
Oh,
like
interesting.
corners on them, and they're supposed to take the pressure off your hands when you're knitting, and the little bumps are supposed to somehow relieve tension as well. But I've chosen them really because they're 5 millimeter and they are on a cable, because I like to use
Oh,
cables. even when I'm
I
using back and front.
had
Go
it
back
in
and
my
forth.
head wrong. I thought it was 5.5, so I have 5.5. My bad.
That's fine. No, 5.5 is fine. But you've got a four. What is that? Is
Yeah,
that an eight
it's
weight?
it's
A
a
four
4.
weight?
Yeah,
Is
it's a
that a
4. It's a solid 4, I would call it.
yeah?
Like,
Well, that's fine. Yeah, 5.55. Yeah, I've probably gone down a little size, if anything. So, all right. Shall we get underway? Hello,
yes,
Amy. All right.
yes.
So
And
we're going to start with the long tail cast on. I'll bring my camera up a little bit because we need to see the whole hand. I use what they call the slingshot, where you basically are holding it like a slingshot. Okay,
is that your
so if you can
tail
sort
coming
of,
across? Okay, that's
yep.
your
So
tail coming
my
across.
tail is first, and that's around goes over my thumb,
Okay,
and then it goes over my index finger, and I bring it back down, and I just hold with like,
and that's where my tail goes. Okay,
yeah, like that.
and then we need to make a slip knot, correct?
But yes and no.
Okay.
I don't. But what you do need to do first, because it is called the long tail cast on, is because you need a long tail. So you need to estimate how long you need your tail, depending on how many stitches you need to add. So I'm going to say, how many stitches do you want to go?
I don't know. What's
Cast
what
on.
seems sensible for a
Uh,
square?
25. Let's do 25.
Okay.
So I would go, hang on, hold it in your fingers like that, and then take the other length to your elbow, okay?
Yeah.
And then that should hold 25 approximately stitches.
Um,
Obviously, all of our arms are different length, but
I have
that's the
very
way.
short arms, so I'll go a little bit longer, but
Okay. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's too long, and even if it's too short, you can
right.
sort of fluff it a little bit anyway.
That could
So,
be helpful if yours was too short to show that technique.
yeah. All right. Well, I'll do that too short then. All right. Well, maybe we'll see.
Right, right.
I can't do it too short. All right. So, index, holding it as a slingshot. The idea is you are taking one stitch bit from this side and one from this side, and that's why it's called the long tail, because it's using the tail to create the stitches. How I start is, make sure I'm in screen.
Yep.
Yep. I push down
Okay.
and twist, and that sort of will slip up and down,
Mm,
and that can become your first stitch.
like
This is
that.
particular once, only once. Yep,
Yeah.
you had it.
Okay.
Yep, that's right. Okay,
Ah,
and
I
then we can.
messed up. Okay.
Yep, then we can sort of come sort of down a bit, and we're sort of holding it like a slingshot. And what we do is we come under the thumb. We're grabbing this first piece of thread here, the tail end. We're going through that, and then we're coming over and we're picking up the other thread and we're pulling that through that thumb loop. You release your thumb and you pull down.
And you don't want to pull down too tight.
No, your stitches need to be able to move like this. That is probably going to be the best way for you to judge your tension. It needs to hold the needle so it doesn't fall out. See, I'm not holding the needle, but it doesn't need to be so tight that you can't move your needle. So if you can get in between that sort of tension somewhere, that's really good. So we go through that thumb loop, we grab that yarn going on over our index finger, and we pull through, and we create a second loop. We go under, grab that yarn,
Hi,
pull it
Adrian.
through.
Hi, Seema. Now, I think Seema is an actual, I think she's a knitter and I think she's in
Yes,
India. Yeah.
I think I've watched Seema a few times doing some knitting.
Hi,
Yep,
Linda.
so we pick up and we go and we pull that through. Okay, so
Okay.
up, grab that yarn and pull it through.
No, I should have been counting.
2, 4. Well, I've only got 6.
6, that's me too.
Oh.
Perfect.
Okay, so yeah, and you can get quite speedy at this. I do love this cast on. It did take me quite a long time actually to learn it. I didn't learn this probably, I'm going to say maybe mid-20s. No, older than that, because I think I learned it on the internet. So it was like within the last 5 to 7 years. But anyway, so once again, we're just coming up under the thumb, across to grab that yarn, and we pull it through. Just like that. Yep, you've got it. Sort of watching you as well.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about the twisting stitches.
You can't, you shouldn't be able to, you shouldn't really be able to twist the stitches. There is a way you can twist the stitches deliberately so you have a knit stitch and a purl stitch, but that it can come later. You will find sometimes this, I like to release because sometimes this gets a little bit
Yeah,
curly.
that's what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you just release it, let it untangle or untwist and then just go back to it. Now I am going to be very, very short, so that's okay. I'll be able to show you the way to extend it and how to add other, do another cast on actually. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Sorry, I'm counting loud.
I might be. You're fine. I have to count.
14, 15. Now, as you can see, once you get to a certain length, it's very tricky. So I have not left myself enough to do the 25 that we discussed that we would do. So I've got 16 on my needles. I'll show you how we can counteract that. I only would really use this method if I've done like 250 cast on, and I'm a couple short. Otherwise, I would just pull it out, make my towel longer, and do it again. But if you are ever stuck like this, turn your work around as though you were about to knit. I'll wait till you get there.
I'm almost on my last stitch.
Yep.
And I am going to make it, but barely.
Is that going to be 25 for you?
Yep.
Okay, right. Okay. All right. So
Okay.
I've only, yep,
There's
she's got it.
25.
And that's perfect. That was perfect length. Whatever what your length for that was for 25.
Yeah, I went halfway. I went to my bicep. It's where I had to go. Like I said, I have short arms, so.
Right. Well, try and remember that. I find if I go from my fingertips to my shoulder, that's usually like 45, 50 stitches for me. Everyone's going to be different, obviously. You just find out eventually because it can be a problem always running short, like I have here. But I just turn around as though I'm about to knit, and I'm going to cast on the extra stitches I need using another format. And that is inserting my needle between the first stitch and the second stitch on my needle. And I'm going to push that right through to the back side like that. Okay, all the way through. And I'm just going to pretend I'm going to knit a stitch like that, but I'm not going to pull that stitch off. I just pull this through, and there's a little twist. I put the left hand needle through the loop, take the right hand needle out, and then I pull it tight, or not tight, but taunt. And then I've added an extra stitch, not using the tail end. You can actually cast on like this. If you start with a slip knot, you can pretty much cast on this way from the beginning. So just go through the 2 stitches, the first stitch and the second stitch on the left hand needle, all the way through to the back. Pretend I'm knitting, pull through, twist it a little bit like that to pick it up on the left hand needle, and I've got a second added stitch. So this is just an extra way you can sort of add stitches if you need to. This is the only cast on I knew for the very longest time, because I used to watch my mum do the long tail and I could never figure it out. So There we go. I used to give her my knitting and got to get her to cast on.
I can see that.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I used to say, and she'd say, "Oh, how many stitches do you need?" 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. I'll just quickly do 5 more unless anyone wants me to be slower. Anyone need me to go slower with this? Because
Some
I
of
can.
these are experienced kniters. Some of them
Mm,
are like me and no background. Hey, Panda,
yeah.
thanks for lurking. I've been
Oh, panda, lurky, lurky.
yeah. So my neighbor and I were watching Sam's video on this, and my neighbor had been telling me about the long tail and what if I've cast on 200 already and I need 205, and she's like,
Mm,
that's so frustrating. And so when we got to that part of the video, the cast on video, she was like, oh my gosh, that now I know how to fix it. So she
yeah.
appreciated it. So
Oh, good. Yeah, because it is frustrating when you do sort of end up with like just a few short. Um, like I say, I wouldn't do if I was 20 or 30 short. I would go, no, because you can see an obvious difference to the edge, and
right,
you can, at the side, you can see an obvious difference. The bump, bump is here, but not here. The bump is here, but not here. So it's almost like reversed. It's not going to matter if you're knitting sort of something like I don't know, a scarf or a square for a blanket or something like that. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 25. Okay, so knitting. The knit stitch
okay. Now
is
do I
going to be after.
switch hands? Is that what I do?
You hold in your left hand. I'm going to hold in my left hand, even though I don't do that, to teach some continental, but then I will go switch to my normal way of knitting.
How did I do it? Okay, I think this is how I was
So
using the yarn. Hold on.
if you're already a crocheter, you can just pick up your yarn and the way you would for crocheting. And the way I do it for crocheting is just I go, over my pinky and then under my 2 fingers, and then I come up over my index finger. With knitting, with crochet, you like to be a distance from the needle, right? Or the hook, I should
Right.
say. With knitting, no, you've got to be right up there with it. You want the yarn across your thumb or across your in finger, right at the top there, and you want it nice and close to the tip. Okay, and then
Nobody
so
follow my yarn hold because I hold weird when I crochet. I hold weird when I knit. So we're just
okay,
going.
so is that how you go? Is that how you is that
It
how you
is.
hold when you knit?
Uh,
I mean, the point is, all right, Laurie's going to hold it the way she does. I'm going to hold it the way I do when I do continental, which I don't do very often. But the point is, you will find a way that is comfortable for
Right.
you. And I will later show you, after I've done a few stitches like this, I will show you how the English knitter or the English thrower knits, because that's my style. But everyone is different. You'll find your own comfort zone. But if we give you a few options, then you can sort of do whatever's comfortable for you. Okay, so we've got our tension is kept in our left hand as well as our left hand needle. We're going to do all the work with our right hand needle pretty much. We just go into the front leg. Okay, we're going into this front leg only. We're leaving the back leg behind. We're not touching that. So we come into the front leg, and then what we're doing is picking up that yarn, and I have to hold it with my finger
Yep.
like that. Oops, see, I didn't even get it then. I have
Yep.
to
And
hold it with my
it's
finger to pull it through,
and
and
it's
then I
yep.
can take it off.
Oh yeah,
So
the take it off. I always forget that part. Okay.
yeah. So you go into the stitch, you wrap the left right hand needle tip around the yarn on your thumb finger, and you pull that through just like that. And once your stitch is on the right, you can pull off the left. Okay, you may need. Hang on, I'm just trying to figure out which way I go. I want to watch you do it. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
because I'm not sure whether I'm doing it. Yeah, I'll watch you.
so
No,
I'm
that's the
going
back.
through.
No, the back. You're going through the back leg. No, no, that's the back leg. So you are twisting your stitches.
Okay. So
Yeah,
I will pull back.
Yeah. All right. See, no, you need to see how we got. Okay. Look at the side. If we look at it side on, we have a front leg of a stitch and we have a back leg.
Okay.
Okay. You need to go through the front leg only, the leg that is facing your
This one.
body.
This one.
Hang on. Yeah. I think so. Yeah. So we'll go through that again.
Confused then.
Yeah. No. Oop. I hate continental knitting.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I
I
just
can do it. I just hate that my tension is just usually terrible. So, all right.
so
So this is our front leg.
but
See
I'm
this
on
bit
the
here?
top. Yeah.
Right. But you've got to come in from the front, from the left side of the needle. So your
Okay.
needle has got
Okay.
to start from between the first and the second. Yes, like that. That's the
Okay.
way. Not that
Okay.
way. Not that
No.
way. The second way you did it, the first way you did it.
What was the
Hang on,
first way I did it?
sorry, it's the camera, the screen on the TV is like behind
Yes.
that's
So
that's the way.
this direction and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
like
pull
that.
off.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah,
And then pull
yeah,
off.
yeah.
Okay. So I got to
Uh,
come in this side
so we come into the front leg of the first stitch.
and then,
You pick up that loop. I like to say I have to hold it
yep,
when I
I have
do
to
it,
hold it
and then
too.
pull
Yep.
it through, and then I can slip it off.
Okay. So
Through the front leg.
this
Yep,
way.
that's the way. And other way around. Yep, that's the way around. That's an easiest way around the
Yes,
needle.
I learned got to go counterclockwise is how I have to think about
Yeah,
it, or I
yep,
screwed up. But I
yep.
was going on the wrong side of the leg is what you were saying.
Yeah,
So I
you
need
were
to
going
come
in the
this
back leg.
side.
Now, there are stitches that will actually say go through the back loop. Okay, and that's when you would do that because there are knitting patterns that want you to do twisted stitches. So,
Right.
yeah, but we don't want to do them just yet. So we're just going to knit through like that.
I had
So
it
we just
and then
pick
I
up the
pulled it off.
stitch, pick up our yarn, and pull it through.
I don't know why I'm having trouble with this one. Kind of cheated there, but
Look, however you can do it. I mean, you know what I mean? It's sort of, as long as you're doing this, putting the needlework belongs, you just got to play around. And like I say, find your
yeah,
comfort zone.
it's me
Find the
figuring
comfort zone.
out where
Yeah, yeah. It's
yeah.
all comfort zone. But yeah, into the front leg, grab that yarn, and then pull it through. Yep, you've got it. Oh, no,
I
almost. Yep,
do, but I don't.
you do.
I'm
By Jove, she's got it. Let's sing Rain in Spain.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
you're
understand
struggling
it.
with pulling the thread through, I think. Yeah, you're
Yeah, I
struggling
just
with that bit. Try using, yeah, your finger to hold the loop, like yep, and then that's the way. That's it.
okay.
I think that's the easiest way. There are people who can do it like that, like I just did without holding on, but mostly you will have to go
Yeah,
around, and
yeah.
I tend to put it down with this finger and then pull it through. And that's just me because that's just the way I knit. Now I might come in.
Okay, there we go. Now I think I got it.
Okay. Yep. And then I'll see. I'm going to try and knit my normal way. You might convert me in this to continental. They do say continental is faster and easier for people. Um, if you're learning brand new, I would say definitely try
Yeah,
learning the continental.
or
Um,
learn lots of different like, I watched so many different ways of doing this stuff before,
mm,
and then I made sure I watched Sam's so that I would kind of know which of her approaches was going to work best for me.
yeah.
But yeah, I think I've got
See,
this
once I get
row.
into a rhythm with it, I can pick up the stitches without using my finger.
Let me move
Um,
this down.
you know, but
Oh,
it's just a matter of, like I say, how you're comfortable holding your yarn and all the rest of it.
and
You
Deb,
might, Deb,
Morgana, if
sorry?
I can do this, you can do this.
And yeah. Look, honestly, I know a lot of people will look at it and go, it's so difficult. But think of it this way, knitting has just two stitches. We had the knit stitch and the purl stitch, and it is a combination of all those two stitches basically that will create everything you can see in knitting in some way or form. It's not like having, you know, a single crochet, a double crochet, a
Single,
triple,
double,
treble.
treble,
Yeah,
puffs,
yeah,
popcorns.
yeah. I mean, we have a what we call a bobble stitch, which
Right.
I guess you could probably call your popcorn, but yeah.
But
So
yeah, I mean, it's basically a combination of knits and purls from what I
yeah,
understand.
yeah. Most of the stuff is a combination of knits and pearls,
I'm
until
on
you sort of get into something called brioche,
Oh,
which
brioche, yes, I've heard.
is absolutely gorgeous. One of my favorite knitting styles. Um, but it's a very, I'd say, advanced. But I
Advanced,
think I
yes,
think
that's what I've
anyone
heard.
could. I think you could do it if you took it slowly. And I know a few good tutorial people who really do teach it very well,
I
which I
know
would
another
sort of.
yarn, Shannon, like, went to a knitting class to learn it, and this is after years of knitting that she
Mm,
went to a class to learn it because, yeah,
yeah,
made it make more sense. She needed the in-person, and I'm kinda at that last stitches. Whoa, I
yeah.
think what did I did? It's just wrong. That last stitch.
No,
I don't think I got the last stitch.
you're doing that's great. I think you've done brilliantly. And don't worry about that little bit of looseness. You know, that's I've got a bit of looseness there too at the end. So
Yeah.
you
I
know
mean, there's
that's going to
definitely
happen.
I'm losing my stitches. Gotta be
Yeah.
careful.
Yeah, because that's the other problem with people do panic with knitting because it's like all these stitches on there, and
Yeah,
that can be an issue. I know for some because especially people who watch me, they say your stitches are so close to your tip, but that's just because I want a bit of speed when I'm knitting, and it's easier to knit when my stitches are right up here. It also stops you from stretching out your stitches, and I'll show you what I mean. And I'm going to knit English style now. If
yes.
my stitches were down here
Something
and I started knitting and I went through that front loop and went around
mm,
and then pulled that off and then took it off. See how that stretched it?
yeah,
So that's going to stretch the in between stitches and I'm going to end up with a very loose tension.
got something weird going on here, so I'm backing up.
Yep, back up. You can just
Okay.
right. Okay, so no, don't that one was okay. Leave that one on. Oh, you're worried about that? That's just tension. It's
No,
just
no,
tension.
it was there this was I don't know what I did to bring that
Oh, okay, I see what you meant. Yeah.
across.
Okay. Now that last loop will need to go on your left-hand needle again, and you will need to knit that again.
Yes, because it's not
Yes,
right.
that's right.
It's still well, there's like 5 stitches that aren't right, but
That's okay. Poop happens when you're learning to knit.
yes. Okay.
On your left needle, because yep, you need to work it. All right.
Yeah.
So how I hold my yarn when I'm knitting English style is I basically loop it around my pinky, and then just sort of bring it around under the one, and then back over, so that these two fingers are basically free. Oops, drop my needle.
That is a mess.
Okay. Yeah, it's just what once again, I change sometimes depending on how fast or slow I want to go. Right, so we're going to knit back the other way. I'm going to show you English throwing, and then probably English, what we call, what's it called? Flicking.
Yes,
All
I've
right,
heard of flicking.
yeah. English flicking actually might be best first. Oh, we'll do English flicking first. So once again, we're still knitting, so we're going to go into the front leg only, not into the back leg, unless it specifically says to go in the back. We're coming into the front leg, and we're flicking. The only difference really between flicking and throwing is with flicking, it's done in one motion, and your yarn doesn't sort of come off your hand or your finger. like that. That is flicking. So you're going into the front loop and you're just bringing it around and leaving the yarn attached. All right, so this is what I've been told is English flicking. If you know it by another name, please share. It's got nothing to do with smarts or being smart enough, Zach. It's just practice. Everyone can do anything provided they practice. This
And Panda
Mhm.
Tunisian with I've done enough Tunisian now, like that background has really helped me be used to having stitches under my hand. So because you've done Tunisian, I think you would find it less of a I mean, it's obviously different, but I bet it would be fairly easy to learn.
Okay, I think watching you might have made an error with the last stitch.
Oh, this one?
Hang on. I've got to wait to see which one you're pointing at. Not the one you've just, not that one you've just, I've
This one?
just seen you've done. No, go back.
Back further.
No,
Oh, I gotta release
hang on.
it and then get that loop back on.
Yep. I think. Yeah, get that one back on.
Yeah, there's something weird there. You're right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because what it looked like you just did was slip from the left to the right. I think. I think
Okay.
you did. Yeah. So.
So those two are good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
No,
okay.
it definitely looked
But this
weird
time
when
delay
she
is
said that.
really frustrating because I'm picking up the sort of little errors, but I'm not picking them up at this exact point in time. Yeah. Okay. So I'll just
Yeah.
wait.
I'll be
Yep. Just take your time. Get
more
comfortable.
careful.
Yeah, picking. Yeah, continental is picking, but there's also one called flicking. Well, that's what I've always been told. With English, there's English throwing and English flicking. I think the English style knitters felt a little bit. I think that they were a little bit jealous of not being having a flicking sort of word. Yeah,
Oh,
does that
got
make
it.
sense? Continental picking, yeah, that's right. Continental picking and then English throwing, but there's English flicking. But anyway, okay, so we're back here with this. I'm going through the front loop again. And the way I would normally knit, this is how I would normally knit. And my mother used to say, I don't know how you can knit like that. It's so slow. But this is my usual style. I go into the front leg. I basically let completely go of everything, holding both needles with one hand. Then I pick up the yarn and go around and I pull it through. Okay? And then I go through into the next stitch, basically just throw it around, pull it through. You can see it is a much longer process, but it's like anything. Once you get used to the way that you are doing it, you will eventually pick up speed. You need to go the other way around. I'm just seeing you going, I think. Hang on, which way were you going? So you were going, this way, which you can do. I mean, you can do that if you do it all the time. But with continental, you're going to find you need to go around, what is it, clockwise.
Oh, I've been going counterclockwise the whole time.
Have you? No, you
Yeah.
haven't. Have you? Let me have a
Yeah,
look.
I have. So I've been going through here and then
Yeah.
counterclockwise and then through.
Is that counterclockwise? No.
Yeah.
See, look at me. I'm doing this. To me, this is counterclock. This is that looked like clockwise to me, and so does this. This is the middle of the clock. Okay, I've gone in the front leg. I'm going clockwise around, which I felt was what you were doing. If I was doing counterclockwise, I would go around. That's going around clockwise as well, isn't it? No. Depends on how you view it, I guess. Yeah, that's
So
weird.
I've been doing clockwise or counterclockwise the whole time.
Okay.
That's what I
Well,
was
maybe, yeah.
told.
So we'll call it, we'll call it counterclockwise.
When
Um,
So yes, I'm learning,
Yeah.
Jill. This is my brand
Yes.
new Jill
This is her
Fiberfuzzy.
learning. This is me
Yeah.
trying not to confuse her. And happy birthday, Jill. Is it Jill's birthday? Happy
Yes.
birthday.
Well,
All right.
it's her birthday month. I don't remember which day it is. I know it's toward the beginning here.
Okay. So we go in, around, and back off. I'm watching you more than I'm knitting myself. Perfect. I love that last stitch.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's perfect. Keep doing that. And you're going through the front loop, which is great. And you're
Right,
picking up
right.
better. You're
Which
picking up
yes.
better and you're grabbing, yeah, much easier. You're
Yeah,
finding it easier? You seem to be finding it easier.
yes,
You,
I'm
you,
getting more
you
comfortable with
found,
it.
yeah, you found your little niche of how you're going to do it.
Yes, and
Yeah.
like I was saying to Panda, I think the f like, having done a lot of Tunisian before, not as much as he has, of course, but,
Mm,
it's not so weird to have the stitches
lots
under
of
my
mint.
fingers, plus I
Yeah.
kinda get a feel for how often I need to move the stitches so that they're not driving me
Mm,
crazy, or if they're too far away or too
yeah.
tight or too close, especially because I don't wanna lose stitches. It's
Yeah.
definitely different in that. I have to be
Yeah,
more
I mean,
careful
yeah, in
there.
Tunisian, yeah, it's a lot easier to, yeah, because you've got like that handy hook at the end. I often think
Right,
knitting would be easier if we had a hook on the working needle, what I call the working needle. This is the holding needle or the
right.
inactive needle and inactive stitches. And this is like the working needle or the active stitches.
Yeah, my last
Um,
stitches are bullet.
yeah, but and I'll just finish
It's
my
not
row.
too terrible,
No,
but
it's got. I would say. I mean, you are well. Your stitches are sort of a bit too far down the needle for my liking, but
right,
that's only because you're afraid of that falling off the edge, and I
right,
totally get that.
right,
But
and
you
eventually
can
I will
but you
probably
can
move up.
see,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. You can see though how if it's too far down, when you're pulling it off, you will get that pull
do more
happening.
do
Yeah,
more with this. You're right, Jill. I
yeah,
I did know that with Continental that I need to do more of that with this.
yeah. That's right. But she's learning continental, and now I'm doing sort of just English, and I'm going to
She's
catch up. Hang on,
Yeah, Sam is showing,
different styles,
English,
and
a
yeah,
couple
I'm going
different styles of
fast.
English to see what y'all like, especially if you're
Yeah,
new.
yeah.
Hi, Bud
Um,
Files.
I have been told by several people that if you've learnt crochet first, then you're best to do continental. But if you're learning knitting first and you've never crocheted, that sometimes it's good to do English. But then I've also been told that continental is always better. So but there is another yarn, a way of doing it, where this working yarn goes around your neck.
Oh,
Okay,
the Brazilian or with a pin, the Brazilian
Portuguese, yeah.
Portuguese,
So
thank you.
now this is, I think, I can't really do it very well, but I'll give it a go.
Sorry, I kinda heard
Um,
that.
I find this pretty good for if you're doing pearl. If you need to purl continental style, this is a preference. But knitting, I really don't sort of really see how I don't know how they do it knitting unless they hold it like this. Hang on. They must hold it like that. Let me try and get my needles around the right way. Over that way.
So Red
Switching
likes
my
the
yarn.
English
Yeah.
style.
So and the idea with this is just that it sort of
Norwegian
tensions a little
purling.
bit.
Interesting.
Once again, it just sort of tensions. You're going in the front
And you're a
loop
thrower.
and
Okay.
you're picking up your thrower. Yeah. I like throwing. And actually I find this a little bit easier because I've got more control of the working yarn that's around my neck. But as you can see, my continental gets better if I've already got a few rows done, I've noticed. And I don't know why that is, but yeah, probably just because I'm getting into it a bit too much, or getting
So do
not
I
too much,
just
but
keep doing rows?
yeah. Well, you let me know when you think you're ready for pearl.
Not yet.
No, okay, so we'll just
Okay.
keep knitting. So it's in the front leg,
Yeah.
pick up the thread and pull it off.
Eh,
So you're basically, every time you pull through, you're creating a new stitch, and that's why you move it over. You've got to be very careful when you're knitting that these are some of the, I'm going to show you now some mistakes that we make when we knit, and we all do it, is picking that up and then like also picking that up, and then you've increased, and you don't want to do that.
Right. Right. I had one like when I was practicing yesterday. I had one like that.
Yeah.
That I was like, "Oh, I somehow have 2 loops on this same stitch."
Yeah. Another mistake that's quite easy to do, I find it's easier to do if you're continental than other, is if your thread, your yarn, your working yarn is in front of your needle, sorry, you come through, you go through to the back still to pick up that loop. And when you bring it through, you've sort of, I haven't done that right. You go through and then you pick it up.
Oh, the
And then
cat
you
is
come,
joining us.
and I've got sort of an extra stitch again. Because when your yarn is forward, it can go over the needle and create another stitch. And that's actually one way of increasing in knitting. It's called a yarn over.
Yes, I've heard of that.
Yeah. So that's really easy to do too. And if you're alternating between knitting and purling, doing a yarn over increase is one of the biggest, sort of issues that a lot of knitters will have, and they will add stitches in that way as well. So,
Missy has fully joined us here.
oh, I've told mine to stay away. She doesn't need your help, Missy.
You only if you're gonna do it for me there,
For
kitty.
her, yeah. But no, you're doing well. You're doing well. You're getting it right, and you're doing it well. Like I
Yeah,
say,
it's I'm
the
really
only
glad
thing I would
about
say is put
yeah.
your stitches to your more closer to the point on the left hand side, but that will come.
Yeah,
And I
I
get and
do
I
keep
get why you're
moving it
not
up,
doing that.
but yeah,
Yeah,
I do all of a
yeah,
sudden have them pretty far away.
yeah. And
And
that's
so
fine. And I get why you're doing that. Yeah.
she probably would love to be scratched with these needles. Missy, I don't need to knit your fur.
And well,
Or
Jill
do I
wants, is
need
that
to knit
Jill?
your fur?
That Fiber Floozy? Is that Jill? She said, I
Jill,
just
yes,
wanted to
fiber
say
frizzy,
how
yes.
proud she is how
Oh, thank you.
proud of you I was. I don't know, was? You mean you are? Ellie's cat does the same when she
Oh,
wants
yay.
attention. Oh,
Thanks,
God, yeah.
Linda.
They all do it. They all do it. Ellie, they all do it. And it is, yeah, practice, practice, practice. Yeah, I find if I stop knitting for too long, um, I do almost like fall backwards, where I might forget how to even do a long tail cast on. Haven't forgotten for a while, I must admit, but you can forget sometimes even the basics. I might forget, well, I do with brioche. I always forget how to sort of start brioche and how many stitches I should start with and that sort
These
of
down.
thing. But yeah, but we're just going to make like a square today, if we can.
Yes.
But I think you pretty much you've got this. You really have. You've got the knitting. Now purling continental is not my favorite thing to do.
Purling
Um,
it's kind of in the front of the stitch, isn't it?
yeah, your yarn will be in front instead of in the back.
Yeah.
Now I know people who do knit continental to knit their stitches, and then they will do English style for the purl stitches.
Yeah,
You know,
somebody
if
said they do Norwegian pearls, but the other.
what's a Norwegian pearl? I'd love to know what that is. Wow.
Was that
Okay.
Jay? Jay, was that you? Who do you watch for that, or where did you learn that?
Mm. And how different is it? I know that there are some pearls that people will do through the back loop instead of the front loop. Um, and there's stitches you can do through the front loop, back loop instead of, like knitting, you can knit through the back loop, but then you're going to twist the stitch each and
Right.
every time, and you'll just get a different look. So, and it doesn't, that's okay if you want to do it that way, but you will have to be consistent. It's all about consistency, and
Right.
doing the same thing over and over. So, yeah. But I really enjoy my knitting because it gives my hands a break from crochet. Does the difference between continental and English change the look at all? No, not to my opinion. They're no different texture or anything at all. It's just a speed thing. Continental knitters will tell you, and they're probably correct. Continental can be quicker, but I sort of say that, well, as an English style knitter, I can be quite quick as well, and probably not as quick as
I,
a
I watched
continental one.
I watched an English knitter that was like insanely fast, and it was not
Mm,
sped up or anything. So
mm,
it really just depends,
yeah,
how often you're doing it and all that stuff.
it does.
Yeah,
I've got a short video which I was actually going to do like a review on and show and everybody to have a
oops,
look
wrong
at,
side.
of some Shetland knitters.
Oh,
And these,
Shetland's interesting.
yeah, Shetland knitters, and they can do up to 200 stitches a minute.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
And some of them are continental and some of them are English throwers. And they are knitting Shetland gossamer wool. They're using gossamer wool, which is, very soft and, whatever, and very thin. They're using that and they're doing like 200 stitches a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say that was probably the rate I was watching this person, and I was like, holy
Yeah.
mackerel.
They just move so fast. They really do.
And it
So,
was definitely English style, and I other English
mm,
styles I'd watched, it was not speedy, it was more technique and
mm.
slow,
Yeah,
and
it's just what you, yeah, once again, it's just that practice, practice, practice. It's just what you get used to, what you're comfortable with. And once you're sort of really comfortable with it, you can just knit and knit and knit and knit.
okay, we may try purl after this row.
They do have contests, yeah, where they will have to, I think they're allowed to cast on, but not start knitting. And then they'll blow a whistle and then they, have to basically see how many rows or whatever they get done in X amount of time, and then they'll throw in cables and lace work and all sorts of other
Oof,
things to the competition. It's just amazing.
lace will
But
slow you down.
yeah, a go- well, this is what the gossamer Shetland knitters. A gossamer shawl made in Shetland should be able to pass through the wedding band of any woman.
Wow.
So you should be able to feed one side of it, one corner of it through a wedding ring, and you should be able to pull the whole shawl, rectangular shawl, all the way through.
Wow.
Oh, you're going back to the attic. Okay, Jill, take care.
Okay, thanks for stopping in, Jill, and thanks. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
And Slay Peterbilt is back. I didn't see him come in earlier, I don't think. So hello,
Yeah,
welcome.
he was in earlier.
Oh, okay.
He does RC vehicles, but he
Oh,
to go pull things out of where a person couldn't actually drive a vehicle. So he does really interesting stuff and
well, hello,
hazardous.
Chris. Well, that's okay. Yeah, lurk
Hi,
and
Chris K.
until you're feeling a bit better.
Oh, I feel you. I don't know
Mm,
which type, if it's sleeping cold or otherwise, but yeah,
yeah.
I get it. Again, I babysat. I did something wrong there. Hold on. Put that one back on. Try again.
So that's good. You're recognizing an error, which is great.
Yeah, it did. It's like as soon as it came off, I was like, that does not look right. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I babysit my
But now, when you
grandkids
put the
last night.
stitch back,
Yeah.
you twisted it.
Oh, I
You put
sure
it
did.
back,
I see
and
that.
yeah, and the front leg went to the back, and the back leg went to
So
the front.
is this right? Is that right now, or should it be twisted? That.
Hang on. It's really. Hang on. Let me see if I can sort of show you what I mean.
Oh,
So,
I totally know what you mean because I've been
when you knit
confused.
it this way, what happens
Yeah.
is the stitch base, and then you put it back. See how you twist it?
Okay.
See how the back leg becomes the front leg and vice versa? And that's just because of the way we pass it from one side to the
Okay.
other.
So it should be like that.
That,
Okay. I got
yeah.
it.
Often you'll see patterns that will say, when they ask you to slip a stitch, they will say slip the stitch purlwise. And purlwise is basically coming in like you were to purl the stitch like that, and then you slip it like that, because when you slip it like that, you keep the front leg at the front. You don't twist the stitch, you
All
see.
right, Missy again.
Yeah.
Hello.
So, but you're doing good.
Thank you. We'll see
And
how
you're
it goes with
obviously
Pearl.
getting and you're obviously getting a lot of the muscle memory right. It's already sticking with you because and
Right.
you got another cat. Or is it
Yep,
Missy's
it's
again?
her
Missy again.
again. Yeah, Flynn doesn't come on videos very often or lives, but her all the time.
Oh.
I
Yeah.
haven't
I
even.
get Maggie come and sit right on my little like
Oh,
work scenery thing
she'll
here
she does that
and
one
won't
too.
budge. Yep, she won't budge.
Okay, so that
You're
one needs to be
you're
twisted.
really doing well considering you're fighting.
Fighting the cat.
Oh dear. Yeah. Oh dear.
Oh,
Missy,
just daily
Missy.
meds. Yeah, I get it, Chris. I have one
Yeah.
that I can't take until I'm done with whatever I'm
Mm.
doing for the day because at any given moment, like it can kick in and I'm just asleep.
Yeah. Like, you saw me take some meds before, and
Yeah,
I've got to be really careful when I do take those because they can often make me drowsy as well.
yeah.
But I don't want to fall asleep. Obviously, oh look, see, that's my hair. See, my hair just
Well,
falls
that
out
must
in
be a little tight.
clumps. Dear. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, you're doing really well. I was watching you, and yeah, and even fighting a cat, you're doing super super well. And I'm wondering if I should teach you the pearl.
Yeah, I think that on the next row I'll be ready to try
Okay.
that. I have not tried that. I've watched it a lot. I have not
Mm-hmm.
tried it at all.
Now, yeah, and well, while we're getting there, I'm going to have a sip of my coffee, and I'm going to tell you that the pearl is really not as bad as people. We all say we hate to pearl. We do as knitters. Most knitters will say, "Oh, I hate purling," and I think it's just because we all learn to knit first,
Right.
and so because pearl is different to that, it's like learning to crochet with a knife hold and then changing to a pencil hold. You're going to
Right.
go,
I
"Oh, I
can't.
hate
I have
pencil
tried
hold."
so many times to pencil hold. I can't do it. I
I
can't. I've
try on
tried.
tutorials and I get the now count your stitches and let's see if you still got your 25. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
But that's looking really, really good. And I'm not just saying that, but that is looking really good.
Ooh, rock crawler test. That sounds fun. Durability test. That sounds fun, Slay.
RC rock crawler.
That's what, yeah,
Durability test. Mm.
that would be fun to watch. Yeah, Chris K.
Okay.
I definitely get it. But yeah, yeah, it's one of my dailies that I have to be cautious when
Do
I
you
take.
still have 25 stitches?
Oh, that's a darn good question. Not a clue. Let's see. You
Yeah.
can really see the inconsistent tension there,
You
which
can,
is
but you can
fine.
see it's gotten better and better as you go along as well.
Yeah,
You can see it's definitely improved.
yeah.
Now I've got to try and remember how to do. I don't like doing Pearl Continental, but I will try.
No, I have 24.
You lost one. That's okay. You lost one. I think I
It's
do
probably
remember where
right
you.
here,
Yeah,
actually.
maybe.
Probably right there. Here, we'll just fudge it. I know you're
Yeah,
not
well,
supposed to do that in knitting, but
you can fudge your knitting if it's a case of you've knitted two together and accidentally lost a stitch. It's only when you've actually literally dropped the
dropped a
stitch
stitch. Yeah.
that will be an
Yeah.
issue. And I will actually deliberately drop a stitch if you liked and show you how to fix it.
Yeah, so I have the Centro knitting machines, and so
Right?
I've dropped stitches on there, and so I kind of know how to fix
Okay. Yeah.
it,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm sure.
Yeah.
So I have 25 because I just
Okay. Yeah.
kind of made
Not
it
that
work.
not that it sort of really matters to what we're doing. Well, I might show you purling my way first, just because it's
Yes,
easy for me.
I'll watch,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah. So I'm gonna hold the yarn the way I normally do for my
this cat.
English knitting style, Now, this time, your yarn needs to be constantly in front. And when I say in front, it's not just in front of the work, but it needs to be in front of the stitch. And by that, I mean
In
like
front of the
sort of
stitch
this.
and in front of
Yeah,
both needles. Okay, got it.
yeah, sort of thing. Yeah, because if it's sort of behind, yeah, I'll show you what I mean. So I'm coming in from the right-hand side, still only the front leg, right-hand side to the left-hand side. So knit is from left
Right.
to right.
Okay.
Purl is from right to left.
And make sure that yarn is kind of over the top of your needle. Okay.
Yeah, see, and see how it's at the
Okay.
front. It's not sort of,
Yeah.
it's not,
It's
hang on,
not in
it's
the
not
back.
behind.
Right.
It's not like that,
Yeah.
okay?
Okay.
You want it like that, okay?
Okay.
And then we take the yarn and we wrap it around the needle. And that's definitely anti-clockwise to me. I don't know what you would call that. Would you say
Okay.
that? Yeah, anti-clockwise around, and you pull off that stitch.
Okay.
All right. And then we go, so we're going right to left, grabbing the yarn, and we're pulling it all the way around the stitch. And then we're pulling it through to the back, and it comes out the back rather than the front of the work. And then we pull off the stitch. Whoops. Hang on, drop the stitch. Okay. So the way continental, can I do it continental, seeing as I've just twisted all my yarn everywhere? I probably will be able to. Continental is basically in your left hand like this. Now, you're doing continental. Now, normally you would hold it like this and you would do your knit stitch like that.
Right.
Yep. So when you're doing your purl stitch, you want to put your yarn in front,
Yep.
like you have there.
Yep.
Come around, and then I think they grab it like that. Okay, see?
So
All right, so it's the working yarn is in front of
yep.
the needle. You
Right.
come in right to left, and
And
I
then
would
that
pull it, yeah, like that.
is that
So
is that correct? That I went like that?
you're
Or do
black
I
at the
need
moment.
to?
I thought it was Missy's back, but you've
Oh
gone off.
no. What happened? Oh, you know what she
Oh,
did?
she
She
pulled out the
pushed
camera.
the cover over the camera. Thank you, Missy. Thank you, Missy. I
I
really
thought I was
appreciate
just
your
looking at
help.
Missy. I thought, oh, it's okay. She's patting Missy's back while she's watching.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. No, she was okay.
Okay.
So hold on.
Yeah. So your yarn needs to definitely be in front. You can hold it exactly the same way, but yeah, your
I
yarn.
don't
The
know
tricky part is
where I am. Hold
with
on.
me, or for me, I should say, the tricky part is with
Okay,
continental is moving from pearls to knits in the
hold on.
same row. But yeah,
Hold on.
so yeah,
I
and put that
think
back
I
on the
dropped a
left.
stitch.
Yeah, put that back on the left. Yeah,
I
okay, we'll
will.
try again. Oh no, you need to turn your work. Yep, and then knit that last one
Oh
again.
no, I did. I did do it right. Okay. We're okay. I thought I dropped a stitch. So at
Oh,
the end.
okay. You haven't. All right.
Okay.
All right.
So
No, well,
I'm
so we're
holding
going to
this and then I go, see, it's not coming out the right place. I did
hang on.
something
I've got to
weird.
wait until we get to the camera on the TV gets because it's too small on my phone to
No, I
watch what we're
did something
doing.
really weird.
All right. Well, I'll watch and then I'll find out what weirdness you've
Yeah,
done.
no, I really
Don't hold the yarn like that. Still hold it as if grab your yarn and hold it exactly as you would as if you were going to knit continental. So your hand and your yarn is going to be behind the needle, okay?
yeah.
And then all you're doing is you're just flicking that yarn forward to be in front of the needle.
I don't think I knit this stitch. Hold on.
Yeah, I didn't
Okay.
think you knit that last one, but no, the yarn's. Oh, that's the stitch, is it?
Yeah, I'm going back
Yeah,
to the end and fixing
yeah,
that knit
yeah.
stitch.
So so you will need to turn and just knit that. I can
Yeah.
show you reverse knitting if you prefer.
No, I think I'm okay.
I
Oh,
do
except now
reverse.
it's
I do
on.
reverse knit. I enjoy reverse knitting, I must say.
Okay, hold on. Oh no, I've really messed it up now. Never mind. I don't know what I've done.
No, that's okay. So what are we doing? We're purling. All right, hang on.
I'm gonna, but see, the yarn is coming out here, and then there's a loop
Yeah,
after it, and that
yeah,
doesn't seem right.
yeah. Okay. When you hang on, let me go back to my beginning. Just knit that first stitch if you're worried about it, and then on the second stitch we will do the purl. If you want to just knit that first
Okay.
stitch to get it out of the way,
Okay.
you can do that. Okay.
Let me get a hold of my yarn.
Yeah.
And then knit this crazy one that I don't know what I did.
Yeah. And then it's out of our way and out of sight, out of mind.
Okay. And then off. Get off.
I'll knit my first
Okay.
one too. All right.
Okay.
So now we've got, when you've done that first stitch, you're holding it with the yarn at the back because you've knitted, and the knit stitch is at the back and the thread is coming from the back of the
Right.
knit stitch.
So I
And
need
that's the way it will go. That's the way it will look.
Right.
But you want to use either your finger or your needle to bring that forward, that yarn, from your hand, from your tension, to the front.
Is it right here?
Yeah, okay. Now, you may need to bring in your thumb at this point as well. So hold it as though it's at the back. Hold it like you were doing a knit stitch for now.
Okay.
With your finger at the back and everything. Bring in your thumb to lift up that stitch, that thread, and bring it forward. See how I've done that? I've just used my thumb to bring it forward.
Like that?
Yep, we'll see if that'll work.
Okay.
All right. So then you come in with your thumb holding the yarn forward. You're coming in from the right to left.
Yep.
You're going to grab that yarn. Hang on. You're going to grab that yarn and pull it through. That's just, hang on. Yeah, you've got to grab that yarn and pull it through. I can't do continental purl, as you can tell. I'm very bad at it. The idea is the stitch is got to be in front. In fact, if you have the stitch, your working yarn, if you lay it between that first stitch on your left-hand needle and the second stitch on your right-hand needle, you've got it in a good position. Yeah, it's trickier. The purl stitch is trickier. You may want to change to knitting. Don't use your thumb. I use my thumb. I know a few people who will use their thumb to bring the stitch forward. You don't necessarily have to if you don't find it comfortable.
Is it clockwise or counterclockwise?
I say counterclockwise. So come in from the needle in front, needle in behind the yarn. Yeah. Watch me again. Okay.
Okay.
I've got my yarn in front of this needle and this needle. It's in front. It has to stay in front. Don't pick it up like that and then pick this up. No, you need to go left to right and then grab the yarn. So have you done purl stitch in Tunisian?
Yes.
Okay. If you
Not a
remember with
ton of it, but
Tunisian,
yes.
yeah. If you've done purl stitch with Tunisian, you're very much doing it the same way. Your yarn is in the front. You come in, you pick up your loop that you have to pick up with your Tunisian hook. Your yarn is still in front, but you either pull down with the thumb to get that yarn out of the way, or you just grab that yarn and pull it through to the back. Think of it as that you've got it. That's why your yarn is at your front. You're doing a purl stitch.
I cannot get a hold of the yarn. It has to stay in front.
Stitches are very
Is that it?
loose at the front.
My stitches are
like
terrible
that.
at the front.
They're loose, and that's what's making it a little bit difficult, I think.
Yeah, now I'm in better, tighter stitches, so hopefully we'll be okay on this next one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe, yeah. And that's,
so
did you pull the loop
stays
through?
in front, and then I go in the loop.
Yeah, I don't think we did that one properly, but that's okay. We'll just
Oh,
leave
I
it as
know
is.
it's not. I know that
You
one's not
worked
right.
it. That's
was
the
way
main
too
thing. You
loose.
worked it, yeah. From the front, in front of both needles. Okay. Yep.
Right.
From the right to the left,
Yep.
and then just put your, loop around and pull it through. Does that make it easier? Does that look easier? I don't know. So you're not using your thumbs. You're just
I
coming
don't
from
know.
left to right.
I'm in there, and then the yarn's in front.
No, go over. Try this way. Go over and grab that yarn and go
Like
through.
that.
Is the yarn in front? I can't see.
It was, yes. It's
Okay,
in
yep, when
front.
you went through it, yep, and then
And then
yarn
you
it over.
said,
So look, yarn in front, yarn still in front, yarn still in front, loop over and grab it and pull it to the back.
so loop over, pull it to the back.
Yep.
Whoop.
Yarn in front.
I cannot seem to get this.
Other way round, other way round. Go around and thread the opposite direction to what you were doing.
So not this way, this way.
Hang on. Yeah.
Bye,
Yeah,
Ellie.
it's so hard to catch up with because, like I say, I can't
I
see on the
know.
little camera.
Because, yeah.
Left to right. No. Try am I doing it? All right. Now, no, other way around. Okay, now the other way. No, take your needle and put it
Okay.
around the front of the needle.
Okay.
So go through left to right. Then, so just watch and see if I can show you again. Then bring your needle up and over your working yarn and then pull that through.
I keep not being able to hold on to it.
Holding on, what do you can't hold on to?
Every time I wrap it, I'm trying to pull it through and I cannot get it to come
because
through.
you're sort of what you're doing, I think, is you're going through like this and then you're trying to wrap it around like this, which is going to get sort of all in a tangle.
Okay, so I'm through the stitch, and then what?
All right, yarn at front, and your
Yarn
yarn
in
is still
front.
and your yarn still needs to be in front of that other your right hand stitch.
Yep.
Your right hand needle, sorry.
Yep.
What I'm looking at, it's not in front of that right hand needle.
Well, it is now, but
No,
I know
no.
you're catching up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. And then we go over that yarn, over the yarn. So we
Wait,
not under.
behind it?
We go up and over.
Okay.
Over the yarn. All right,
Okay.
leave the yarn where it is. Take your right hand needle.
Yeah.
Slowly lift it up and over the yarn. So up, yes, up, over, yes. Now grab that little thread and pull it through.
See, every time I try to pull it through, I drop it.
Right. Do you want to try English style?
Sure.
Okay. So I think it might be a little bit easier, English style. Most continental knitters do struggle with purling. Even those that are experienced, they struggle with it because of the difficulties you're having sort of now. All right, so we're going to hold a thread in the right hand needle, on the right hand, sorry. Okay, and we're going to still have yep. Now, our thread is still going to be in the front, obviously.
Yep.
All right, okay. We're going to come left to right.
Yep.
All right, we're going to grab our yarn and we're going to wrap it around that needle like that.
Okay.
Up and around, up and over and down. Over. All right, let me show you again.
Down between?
Like this. Around like that.
Oh, but still
and now
in
it's
front.
hooked on. Now it's hooked on. You can feel it hooked on, and you just push that through to the back and off.
Oh.
Use your needle and push that loop through the left-hand loop. Yeah, yeah.
Hooray, I think I got it.
Okay.
Okay. So
I'm not seeing you push through. Hang on.
I
Let me make
finally,
sure.
it took me a while. It took me a while. I'm almost
Okay,
there.
that's okay. I'm just making sure because you said, yeah, I got it right. And I want to make sure before I say yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you
And
did
now I
get it
can tell by
right.
the way it looks down here that it's right.
Yeah, yeah. Because you should have a bump at the front. Yeah,
Yeah.
instead of the bump at the back. Okay,
So
so
then
yeah. So it's
through
left to
here,
right. Your yarn is at the front, and you just go around the top and
wait,
around, yeah. So you just like you're looping it around and back again.
wait, this way. I had it, and then
Yeah,
what did I
yeah,
do?
around like that. Yep, and back again. No, you had it. Oh, okay, hang on. No, not that way. The
Oh,
first way you did it. Up and over, yep, and then hold it, yep, and then pull that loop through and off the needle.
I'm trying. I
I
had it the
know,
one
I
time.
know. You're doing well. You are doing well. You're the fact that you sort of said, "Oh, look, let's go to pearl stitches." Yeah, you're doing well. It's just
Nope.
you what your yeah, I can see now what the half of the problem is. Okay, look. What I think you're trying to do is bring it, yeah, you're bringing your needle forward. You're thinking, I've got to hook this forward and go through that way. But what you need to do is
Oh, I need to go
actually,
back through. That's how I actually got it to
yeah,
work.
you
Now
need
I
to go
remember.
back through. Yeah. And
Okay,
that's, yeah, so that's
try
the
again. Go
part of the
through here,
problem.
and
Yeah. So you're
then
going
I bring it,
left to right,
no,
bring it
this way,
over the top and back again, over and around
and
yeah.
then back this way.
And then
That's
with
it.
yeah, all you need to do is literally just push it
Yeah.
through like
No,
that,
that's yeah,
and it
yep,
comes
I
off.
gotta come
Yep,
out the back. Yeah.
yep,
Yep,
that's right.
that
Yep,
was
and
it.
come out. Not that you looped the wrong way around. I think. Did you? No, you didn't. That's fine.
I
Yep.
almost did, but then I
Yay!
fixed it. Yeah, no,
By Jove,
that's
she's
exactly what it
got
is.
it.
So I loop it around. Is that the
Yeah,
right loop?
yep, front loop. You go into the front leg of the front loop. Yep, you loop around.
Like that?
But hang on, I'll wait until I catch up. Over the top. Yep, and around. Yep.
And then through the back.
And through, and then
Okay.
push it
Now I
through the
get
back.
it. I
Yep,
get it.
yep, yep.
And that's
Perfect.
part of why that's why I said I've watched a lot of purling. I have
Mm,
not attempted it
yep.
before.
Artie's in there cheering you on. She's saying,
Yes,
"Yay!
Arity knows.
Back it out. Yeah, wrap your yarn the other hand, or wrapping with the wrong hand, back it through." Yeah, she is, but she's doing what's comfortable for the moment. She will eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's wrapping with her left hand, but I think for the moment we can give her
Wait.
that leeway.
It's this
We can
way,
give her
right?
that little bit. Yeah. So yeah, if that is what helps her get it, that's fine. You
I
know,
think I got that.
yarn in
This,
front.
yep,
Yep,
yarn in
yep,
front.
front, wrap around, and then
Gotta
just
go
pull
through.
it back.
Now
And
I'm
in a
back over on my
sense,
continental, so
yeah,
I'm just
but
making
see, in a
sure.
sense, I mean, the pearl, as you can see, because you just push that loop through once it's around the needle, it's actually almost easier to do than the knit stitch, and yet so many people complain about it, you know?
Right.
Yes, great. Yep, now you're doing it continental style. Brilliant.
Yes, I went to the continental style because
Yep,
once I had the structure figured
yep,
out, I
one,
could
yep,
do it.
exactly. Just make, yep, I'm
Oops,
watching. Um,
yarn's gotta go in front. Okay.
yeah, yeah. See, now, where you used your middle finger then to push that yarn
Yeah.
down, this is where I was saying you can use your thumb if it's more comfortable, but that's up to you. If it's more comfortable
Yeah,
to
I'll have to
use,
play with it and see.
yeah, or you can use your index finger, which has the yarn on it, and you can bring that forward as well to do, that sort of movement. But it's whatever sort of works for you. But that is the pearl stitch.
Hmm. It seems to be working. It's got the bumps.
Yeah, yeah, which is what you need.
Feel
Yep,
like
see, and you
at
put,
least one of these is twisted there, but that's fine.
yep.
But
No, you're getting it beautifully. Yep, that's perfect. I use your middle finger or your index. Okay, yep. Hello, Ivy. We are learning
wait,
to knit.
Ivy, hello. I'm learning.
You're
I
welcome, Ivy. You should check out. I got some really slow tutorials on knit, purl, yarn overs, all sorts of increases, all sorts of decreases, all sorts of cast ons, and I do them nice and close up and nice and slow. So,
Yeah.
check
Ivy,
those out if you need help. Oh, you linked to the
I
playlist,
linked a
didn't you?
playlist in the
Mm,
description box, Ivy, that
mm,
is kind of her basic knitting
mm.
playlist. So
Yeah,
that should
yeah,
be helpful too.
yeah.
And yeah,
But that's
she's
all it
helping me
takes
make sure I
sometimes, Ivy. It's just, yeah. But at the moment we're doing the pearl stitch, as you know, which I don't know whether you heard that when you actually
in a
came
weird
in, but
way, it is easier. You're not wrong.
it is when you, especially when you're doing continental. I think it's a lot easier. But pearl stitch. Well, sorry, I think it's easy if you're doing English style, the pearl stitch. But yeah, sometimes it's just a simple thing of, oh,
This
I haven't wrapped my yarn the right
oops, my
way,
yarn
or I
is not in
haven't
the right
picked the
place.
yarn. You
Okay.
like the pearl the other way, not that way. Which way? Do you like the left hand screen, which is Laurie, or the right hand screen, which is me, the English style? Because we're both doing different styles, which is making this a very interesting process.
Yes, I learned by watching it, and then I flipped it over to
Oh,
the
yeah,
continental style, yes.
yeah.
I literally had never ever tried a purl stitch before, so
Oh, brilliant. Well, you picked it up beautifully and quickly. Yeah. I love student that's, very easy to teach, and you are.
I think there was a combination of things that helps with that. Again, I believe doing a lot of Tunisian helps.
Yes.
I think having a knitting machine helped me understand kind of what things should look like.
Yes, the
Um,
structure and everything
and
else.
and plus drop stitches, I have some idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, do you want me to drop a stitch?
Yeah, go ahead and show that while I'm working on these
Well,
pearls.
I'll drop a stitch and I'll come back to it. So I'll drop a stitch and I'll just keep on purling.
The biggest thing is making sure my yarn stays in front. Okay.
Yeah. And like I say, I personally find that harder to do with continental. Um, but when you're working in the round and you're doing like stockinette in the round, all you're doing is knitting. Like if you're
Right.
knitting some
That's what my
socks,
neighbor was doing, yeah.
yeah. So all right, I'm just going to knit a couple of rows and so that the skip stitch is right down low, and then I'll show you how we pick it up. See how the drop stitch? I've dropped it there, and we've got a strand here, but I'm just going to keep on knitting. I'm going to pretend I haven't noticed it, and then I'm going to come back and purl, and then I'm going to pick up the
Oops,
stitch
wrong way.
on the purl thing. Yeah.
Well, I've always believed in being a lifelong learner. I still believe in being a lifelong learner.
Oh, well, I learn so many things, so many ideas or, tips, and I think, oh, what? So now I've actually twisted that stitch. I don't know how I managed that, but I did. All right, so I'm going to just correct it. And that one's stitch is twisted. Oh, I know why it's twisted. It's because I've continental purled them.
Oh, right.
And yeah, so they're
That's not
different.
your norm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not my norm, and that's why they look different to me. Yeah,
Oh, wow. I beat my microphone. Sorry about that.
it's okay. All right. I'm going to just come back and we'll look at that error, that drop stitch. And
Nope. Wrong way.
but it is surprising how quickly it will become sort of muscle memory to you, and how you sort of pick it up and know when you're making a mistake. It's like when you're doing a pattern repeat, and after a while you sort of what the stitch that you're going to go into should look like, or where it should
Right.
be situated, and you're working and you go, oh no, I shouldn't be doing this stitch at this point of the pattern.
Right.
And then you go, I've made a mistake. And that's very much sort of what it's like when you're learning to knit. You sort of suddenly realize, oh, hang on, no, this doesn't look or feel right. Yeah, same sort of thing. Okay. All right, so I'm going to come back. This is my dropped stitch all the way down here. I'm going to turn it with the knit stitches to the front, because I always find picking up stitches is easier. You can see my dropped stitch is way down here. I'm going to use a crochet hook for this, because this is the best and easiest way to do it. I put the, actually no, this is going to be a pearl stitch, doesn't it?
Yay.
So we're going to do a pearl stitch like that and see how it looks like pearl stitches. And then I just go to you go to the next bar or the ladder, and I want that to be a knit stitch. So I come up and bring it forward.
Oh, this is a mess down here.
Hang on, I just need to grab it properly. I think I've split the yarn maybe. No, I haven't. Okay. So I'll just show you that again. You've got picked up the stitch. And now to get it to the top, I basically have to knit just that individual stitch. But I don't need needles to do that. I can just use the hook by picking up the ladder, step, rung, whatever you want to call it, and bringing it through. Going to the next rung and pulling it through. The only thing you have to watch is that you are picking up the rungs in order, because you don't want to switch them around because they will look a bit off, a bit awkward. But there, and you will find sometimes if you pick up stitches, they might be a little bit tighter because of the bar is, might shrink depending on how far you've gone with your knitting. See how it's sort of a bit uneven? So you might need to just play with the tension a bit. What is talking to us?
That is my phone. And
Mm.
my phone is saying that's what she said. So
I thought that's what it was saying. Because I said something before and it said, that's what she said. And I thought, is Panda in the house?
Yes. Yes.
Come on.
Panda is always
Maggie's joining
present
me.
with my phone here.
Yeah, it's like having Panda always handy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Never miss Panda. Yeah, I've got Maggie joining me now.
Oops.
She may come and join us. Whoops.
I need more
All
yarn.
right. Okay. Come on. You want to come up? You can come up,
if
but you've
you're
got to
curious,
stay out of the way.
That's the yarn
All right.
I'm using.
Where are you going to go? Okay, you're going to go up there. Good. She's not going to come and sit on my thing. Oops. Look, I've missed one. Okay, cool. I get to undo it again because I did miss one. All right. Okay. I missed one of the strands. There we go. That's why it was so tight.
I think that's what somebody was
So,
saying.
picking up the loop. They've got 3 rungs, and you can sort of see pretty much that order when you look at them. But you want to make sure you pick them up in order. So the first one, bring it through. Second one, bring it through. And the third one, bring it through. And then I pop it back on. Like that. But I do have a video on how to pick up drop stitches, which might help. Okay, and then I go back. And I didn't purl this stitch. Oops. Hello, Tangled Yarn Annette.
Oh, hi, Annette. Oh, thank you for the jewels. Yeah, Sam, you'll like Sam's knitting stuff. She does both knit and crochet. So
I do.
Yes.
Actually, if I can, I'm going to show you something that I did when I first started my channel to show the similarities you can get between knitting and crocheting while you're still going there, because you're doing great. Everybody's watching you. And I'm sure Artie will let us know if you've done something wrong. Oh,
yes,
thank you,
Artie
Artie.
will. Yes.
She will alert me and, whatever. So, okay, here's a crochet scarf I made, right?
Okay.
Now, I started off here and I cast on the length. Okay, so this is a cast on length. And I worked it in a V at the front. So it's like one of those, almost like a bandana type or a shawlette type scarf. Anyway, I want to show you the similarities. Here we have what they call a folded single crochet. The stitch that is folded is actually a double crochet, but they call it a single crochet folded because you're going into the back part of the stitch. All right. Then, of course, we've got our infamous popcorns. We've got here what we call the wave stitch, a few wave stitches there. And then we come and we've got what they call well, you can call it the chevron or the, what's it called? Feather and lace. Feather and, not feather and lace, feather and fan. This is your, feather and fan. This is feathery, and this is your fan. Okay. Now let's compare that to knitting. All right. You can do almost the same thing. I started with a cast on the length I wanted it, and I've done a folded. I've knitted a few rows. I've folded it in the same way that this stitch has been folded, and joined it. And these are bubbles. They are not, obviously not popcorns, but I've created bubbles instead. Then to get the wave stitch, I've done this, what do they call? I think they call this the wave stitch as well in knitting, where you're yarning over several times and then you're dropping all but one of the loops. And then I finished off with my fan and feather.
Nice.
So they actually can look quite sort of similar. You can do quite similar things with them. It's just a matter of practice, 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 as we know. Drop, yes. Did someone drop? Did she drop, Artie? Did she drop a stitch?
Did I?
I don't know. Artie said drop.
Do you?
Or maybe she was saying it was a drop stitch. She might be saying it was a drop stitch.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Not you dropping a stitch, but the knitted stitch might be called the drop stitch that I showed. The wave stitch might have been called, also known as a drop stitch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We still purling? Yep. Have you done? You finished a row though?
I'm on my second row. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! And see, look how good that's looking.
Yeah, it looks good.
It does. It looks great. I love it.
Like I said, once I understood the structure and the process, for the most part, I know the pattern dropped stitch. Yes, the pattern is a drop stitch. Okay.
Okay. Yep. That's what I figured you were probably saying.
For me, I'm seeing is I'm having to really pay attention that yarn is in front. That my yarn is in front.
But you can just do knit every row and you will get what they call the garter stitch, which will have bumps on both sides.
Right.
Which is perfectly okay. Beautiful.
Right.
Oh, I love the way you're doing a continental pearl stitch now. Yep.
Yeah, it's working well.
It is working really well. Laurie, you're doing great.
Once you explained like to go through the back, I'm like, and then I remembered, oh yeah, that's how I actually got it to work. I have to keep putting that yarn in front.
Yep. That is, I find that the yarn in front is easier for me. It's easier to manage when you're doing English style, because it's always just hanging there.
I have to be
more aware
about
of it. Yeah, you have to be more aware of it. Unfortunately, with continental, because you've got to do that little tricky.
There we
go. Fold it forward. Brilliant.
I just have to, constantly, bring it forward.
Yep.
But yeah, we're moving right along.
Oh,
and it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it does. I can tell just from, the way the bumps are sort of sitting just below the needle on, the right-hand needle of what you've worked.
Yeah.
That even the tension is really nice and even.
Yeah. This is where we got some
really, really good work. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. I mean, that is really good. That is really perfect, says Artie. And I agree 100%.
Literally have never, ever done a purl stitch before tonight.
Well, there you go. I mean, look how easily you picked it up. Perfect, not teacher, perfect pupil.
Well, maybe a perfect teacher, even though you showed me the two different ways, it was enough that I was able to get.
Yeah.
I was able to switch hands the way I needed to for me.
And see, like, even though initially you were wrapping your yarn with your left hand,
right.
You've eventually figured out a way that you can avoid doing that with your left hand.
Yeah.
And that's great. Sometimes you need to do it whatever way you can to get it.
Right.
And then you do it the way you gradually find more comfortable. It's just sometimes getting that stitch. But that is brilliant. I'm really impressed, actually. I would have said you have done, you've been cheating, and behind the scenes you've been learning to knit pearls.
I really had the knit I had tried before, and the long tail cast on I had tried. I had literally never tried a purl ever before.
Oh, wow.
So.
Well, Laurie, you can do it now.
Yes, I think I got it.
Yep.
Not to say I will retain it. I know I will need to practice a little bit every day, even though I've got the other
Mm.
crochet projects I gotta get done first, but I know I'll need to practice a little every day so that I don't, like, lose that memory of it.
Yeah.
This
Look,
is where
even
it
if
got
it's
all
just
wonky.
one row of each, you do one row of knit and
Right.
one row of purl. You'll
And
get
then
a
you
nice,
get
you'll get an interesting pattern going.
yeah, it is kinda
You know,
cool, the knit there,
yeah,
and
yeah. You got
now
like knitting
this is
rows with
where
a little,
there's a wonky stitches. Let me count my stitches and see how many I actually need to make. I think I need to
yeah.
make 2 and not 3.
Well, see, now that you've got it as well, there's nothing to stop you from unraveling if you're not happy with that and the wonky ones at the end,
Oh,
and
that's
starting right from the beginning. But that's entirely up to you. I mean, I would say keep going with what you're doing
yeah, I'm just
because,
gonna
that
I'm
right-hand side looks perfect. The right-hand
I'm
side of the edge looks
yeah,
great. It's
yeah,
just
I'm
the
real happy with
left-hand
that.
side is a bit sort of wonky. I have cast on with a crochet hook, Chris, yep, and I've actually got a tutorial about that too. That's
Yes,
one of
it's
the
in
cast
her
on methods that I
yeah,
use.
it's in her
Yeah,
3 cast-ons,
yeah,
so that it's basically like if you've ever done Tunisian, uh, Chris, it is just like that. Hey, Hadijah. I
yeah.
should have warned you that there's a lot of, pink going on here. Sorry about that, Hadijah.
Oh, does she not like pink?
Yes, not
Sorry.
not a fan.
Yeah, I got a bit of white going. A bit of white came into the story for a while. But this is a mess of a yarn. Look at this. This is just it's a big old mess. But it's like 1,000 meters in what it was in a Easter egg. It was Easter yarn special, and it was like 12.50 for, I think it was 800 grams of yarn, which is like
I don't know what's going
three ounces by 8, whatever that works out to be.
This is a mess over
Yeah,
here.
but it's the only 4-weight I've really got handy,
Okay,
and I wanted to use a 4-weight because I knew you probably would use a 4-weight, and it's just easier to
now
see.
these 2 need to come over here because 'cause I'm not done with that stitch. Okay,
Mm.
so bring my yarn forward, get that in the right
All right.
place. These
What
I'm
we
just gonna
can,
put together, so
I was going to say, we can actually cast that. Well, not cast them off. We can actually decrease them away so that they won't be there anymore. It'll
oh,
make your work come in at the side a little bit. But if you're happy with that, then
yeah.
it'll make those stitches easier for you. Well, you've just put 2 together there anyway, 2
Yeah, I
stitches.
just put 2 together
Yeah,
because
that will help. Yeah,
that was that
that's
really
fine.
wonky stitch that I
Yeah,
had,
beautiful.
but
Yeah,
that row looks real good.
it
So,
does. I mean, I looked up after sort of showing how to pick up that stitch and went, "Wow, are you on what row are you on?"
and the knits, they for the most part look pretty good, from the previous row. They look pretty good.
If you're having trouble,
So,
Chris, with 100% cotton splitting on your needles,
oh yeah,
I would suggest getting pointier needles. The
it's
sharpest,
counterintuitive.
getting pointier needles because yes, it can also split through the yarn easier, but it enables you to knit, not split the yarn as well. I mean, I know it sounds stupid, but sharper points usually will help. But try knitting with bamboo stick. Because cotton's very slippery. That's the other problem with cotton. So if you've got bamboo needles or wooden needles or even an
Okay,
acrylic needle, that will make the
thank you.
stitches be more grabby. And you might have less problem then with them being splitty as well.
Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go ahead and do what Arity said. She's suggesting I go ahead and knit a
Mhm.
row here
And then purl her up.
and then purl a
And I,
row.
and I think if you do that, just every day, perhaps, like last
Yeah,
thing at night or first thing in the morning before
yeah.
you start doing all
Wait,
your
this
stuff.
way.
Yeah. And then, yeah. So
Counterclockwise.
to knit, you need obviously the yarn at the back.
Yeah,
Yeah. And start from the back.
and I got a scooch.
And if that doesn't work, you're doing knitting. Yep. If that doesn't work, Chris, let me know. And, maybe I can sort of get some of my cottons out and have a look and see if I can come up with any other ideas for you. But you know, usually if I don't know how to do something, um,
No, back.
yeah, you can see the knit stitch on both sides. Yeah, that knit V is really nice. Wrong way around, opposite.
Oh, yep, you're right. You're right.
Yep, that's okay.
Because
Yeah, for stockinette. Yeah, I
I
love the stockinette stitch, but it does curl, so it's nice to have a
counterclockwise.
bit of purling in there as well. So this scarf or this square, whatever she decides to turn
Whatever
it
I'm
into,
making, whatever
will
nonsense I'm
work
making.
well. But see, you can sort of, and the way you tell the difference, let's have a little quick lesson on that. So this is your knit side, and you can tell it's your knit side because you've got all these little V's that interlock to the V below. And if you are on this side, this is facing you, you are doing a knit stitch. If you want to make a stockinette thing where you want this being all at the front, that's called stockinette, where you've got the knit stitches on one side and the purl bumps on the other side. That's called stockinette. Think of a stocking and think of a stocking being sheer, as in, you know, like, you know, you got they're really smooth. Well, that's why this is sort of called stockinette, because this is really smooth, and therefore this is our knit side. When you see that, you knit. Also, consequently, if you see this side, and I've done something weird there, if you see this side,
Oh, I think I twisted that.
this is your purl side. So if you're starting and you're looking at this, you need to purl. Yeah, can you do like a honeycomb Tunisian stitch? Yes, you can with knitting. There are ways of doing that, but that sort of enters the realm of brioche in a bit,
Advanced, right?
yeah. Um, there's probably an easier way of doing a honeycomb stitch in knitting that I'm not aware of, but I've only ever seen honeycomb advertised, or you know, in the um, brioche way. But I can
I
have a look and find out
mm,
for you,
mm,
Chris. I'll make a note of that,
like a
and I'll have a
honeycomb.
look, and I'll let
Oh,
you
I
know.
like the honeycomb Tunisian that MDL Michael MDL Crochet does.
Mm,
I've done it, and it looks cool. It makes a little hexagon.
yes, yeah,
I
yeah.
like his.
So I'm going to look for what's it called again? Honeycomb. I'm going to look for
But just
honeycomb. I'm pretty sure you probably can with normal knitting.
yes,
And if
there
I
is a
yeah,
I think Very Pink Knits had one.
probably yeah. She is a good reference, as is Nimble Needles.
Oh,
If you
Nimble Needles, yes.
now he is actually what they call a master knitter, and he literally, there's not a thing that man does not know, and he shares most of his knowledge with us for free, which is absolutely brilliant. Um, he does have a Patreon account, which he sort of shows them his new ideas and new things ahead of YouTube. So if you're happy to wait, you can just not be, you know, on his uh, Patreon. But I've been on his Patreon for, on and off, depending on my finances, just to learn and pick up things. And it's just an interesting new heel he's created for socks. So I'm waiting for that to come out on
Ooh,
YouTube. But if
that
it
sounds
doesn't,
interesting.
yeah, I can't remember what he's called it, but I'm hoping he brings it out
Yeah, he's one that
on the
I've
YouTube.
watched. He's
Yeah,
very
knowledgeable.
thorough. He shows
Mm,
mistakes. He talks about like you need to wrap this way or wrap that way,
yeah,
or wait, that's
and he's very good at like explaining why your knitting stretches one way and not the other, and he explains why, in the same way that Michael does. He explains why your knitting will curl, and how, because of the knit stitch and all the rest of it, and how you can prevent stockinette curling. You can reduce the curl with a certain little trick you can do, and that sort of thing. Well, I don't know. I'll see how easy it is, Chris. I don't know. I can't imagine it would be that hard. but I'd really need to look at it. I
The,
don't want to mislead you. But if I think it's hard, your level, you might say it might be beyond you, but it might not be beyond you.
so Chris, are you just wanting to do a honeycomb Tunisian stitch, or are you wanting to see a honeycomb knit that looks like the Tunisian honeycomb stitch? Short rows are interesting. Short rows are interesting. Yeah, I've done a lot of short rows with Tunisian, interestingly
Okay,
enough,
yeah.
but
I
I
do. It
haven't.
depends on the type of short rows. I am not a fan of rapid turns, only because I find looking and seeing how the rapid turn looks. Oh, Ivy's just sent me some knitting.
Yes, you
Stitcherhood
get.
knitting.
Yes, she has beautiful knitting.
She does, and she says, "Thanks, I think I got it." Yep, you have. That looks great. That looks great, Ivy. Well done. I'm so glad that you
Oh,
got it.
good.
Yep.
I'm glad you guys are sending that to her because she can tell you if
Yeah.
what looks good. What
Yeah. I mean,
obviously
that.
I'm brand new.
Yeah, and I mean, even your tension is really nice and even too, which is quite tricky to do when you're first learning to knit.
It
So,
it is
well
probably
done.
because I hold really weird. I hold and crochet really weird, and
Yeah, but I
that
mean,
hold
yeah.
works for me. So
Yeah, if the hold works for you, it's comfortable, that's fine.
gotta get some more yarn.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. And Norman from Nimble Needles will tell you that all the time until he's blue in the face.
Right.
He doesn't care whether you do continental or knit English style. He doesn't care, if you use acrylic or if you use the most expensive yarn. In fact, he said this beautiful thing the other day, and I think it's priceless. I wish I could. I may even put it on a poster
I
or
think you
a
should.
mug or
Yeah.
something, because he said the most expensive yarn you own is the yarn you never use.
Yeah. Yep.
And I went, bing bong. Is that not correct or what?
Yep. I'm actually in this
Yeah.
process of dealing with the moths and organizing my yarn as I'm heat treating
Mm,
and like putting it away. It's like I have to organize like the bougie yarn. I'm like I need to figure out product which of these yarns can go together so that I can make projects. And if I can't get them to go together, they're going to need to be probably hats or whatever. And they're
yeah.
thank you,
Yeah.
Ivy.
Yeah, yeah, and that is 100% Artie. That is another of his famous sayings, which probably should go on a mug. I mean, maybe he should put it on a mug. There are no knitting police. He says, there are no knitting police. He says, you do you, which I also love.
Let me
But
count.
yeah, Ivy, that picture, like I say, you've got your tension really good too. I know you've been knitting or trying to knit for a while. I've seen you trying, but you've done, yeah, that picture is really good. Yeah.
Okay, I've got 25
Okay,
stitches. Hooray.
I degunked. I shouldn't have done that. I'm going to get off here and go for a walk amongst the dawn
Yeah.
chorus and have fun.
All right.
See you later. See you later, Ladybird.
Bye, Hadijah.
Hadijah, that's a pretty name. I'll have to
Yes.
try and remember that, Ladybird. Hadijah, that is a lovely name. I like that.
Yeah, if you see it spelled, it's KH, but
Oh,
like
okay.
Hadijah.
Oh, like
Hadijah.
Khadijah. So, like, is it of Indian? I don't mean feather Indian, but I mean Asian Indian uh
Um,
generation. Not generation. You know what I mean, it sounds very
she chose it. She chose her name.
Oh, okay. She chose her name. Brilliant. I love it,
Yes.
Khadijah. I love it. I do. So pretty.
Thank you, Hadijah. I do appreciate it.
Khadijah.
I'm relieved that it's kind of coming fairly natural to me.
It is. It
Um,
is.
and my grandma did knit and crochet, but she never taught me any knitting, only crochet when I was little. So
Ah,
I
Muslim
promised,
origin.
yeah,
Beautiful.
Yes,
Oh,
Muslim. Yes,
yeah,
thank you. I
yeah,
couldn't think of that.
lovely, lovely. I mean, there's some
Oh,
beautiful names out there from different
oh,
cultures and
they chose
countries.
it for you. I didn't realize.
Oh,
Okay, it was chosen
yeah.
because that's tradition, right? It is tradition to choose a new name when you get married in Muslim culture. Is that across the
Oh,
board, or just because you
I
didn't
know.
have a Muslim?
My daughter just converted to Judaism
Oh,
because
okay.
her girlfriend, she's going to marry, they're engaged. My daughter
Fiance.
is a
Yeah, yeah,
lesbian, so I'll make that quite
yeah,
clear in case you didn't get the hint.
yeah.
So my daughter is
Because
she
Western, you
converted
know,
to Judaism, and when she
they do.
converted, she was told to take a first name that was Hebrew. And I can't remember now. I'm a terrible mother. She did ask me, what name would you like me to take? She says, I figured if you name me the first time round, you should have the choice to name me the second time round. And I thought, oh, okay. And I said Ruth, and she goes, oh, everyone has Ruth, Mum. Can't you come up with something a bit more original? And I'm like, well, okay, I'll look into it and get back to you. But I'm a terrible mother because I can't even remember now what it was. Isn't that awful?
That's it is what it is. But
I've got too many things going in my brain. That's my
so
problem.
that's okay. I've got some extra
Oh,
marbles
lovely.
here. Do you need some of my marbles? I
Oh,
keep
yeah.
them. I
Oh,
keep
look,
them
you
in
keep
storage.
extra marbles for people who've lost them. Oh,
Yes,
brilliant. Oh,
I keep
brilliant.
them stored so that I don't lose them. Some would say
Oh,
I've
dear.
lost many.
Yeah. But, yeah. So, okay, you've got to get back to my
Yeah, I don't know any
crochet.
good
Gonna
Hebrew
learn now.
names. I mean,
Well, thank
Esther
you,
comes to mind.
Ivy. Oh, I
Yes.
love that. Well, we'll see you later. Keep lurking, Ivy. I'm
Yes, yes,
glad you got
and
it.
that playlist
You can
should help
start
you as
singing
well,
Rain in Plain. Rain in
and
Spain.
nimble needles. Nimble
And
needles
Nimble
is
Noodles. Yep.
yeah.
Yep. And if
Okay.
you really need anything slowed down, really slow, and I'm talking super snail pace, pink pink knits. I
Very
can't
pink knits, yep.
very pink knits. She does like super, super slow, where she literally slows the film right down for you.
Is that right?
And that is
Didn't feel
basically
right.
how I learned how to do the long tail cast on about 5, 6 years ago, was because of her
Yeah,
watching her that,
she
yeah.
does. She goes real slow, and you can even
Mm.
slow it down on YouTube, but she does, and she's very thorough.
Oh, yeah. She is very thorough. And she's another one who will sort of explain, it's got to go through this part of the leg and that sort of thing. Quite often people will just sort of say, okay, this is how you do it, but they don't actually explain the anatomy of the stitch.
Right.
You need to know what the front leg and the back leg is, and you need
Oh,
to be able to distinguish and that sort of thing. Oh, what have you done?
is it wrapping this way? Is that right for a
For the
pearl?
for the pearl, yep, yep.
Okay.
Looks right to me.
Oh,
Oops. Oh, now my cat's come through.
yep.
Ugh,
We
just,
both have that challenge.
yes.
Luckily,
Oh,
she's
they're terrible. They always get, that's the right way. Yep.
okay. Yarn in front.
Around that way. Yep. And then just pull it through to the back. Yep. Once you get it. Yep. You got it. Yeah. Her videos are great to follow. They are. She is a great little teacher. She really is.
Yeah, I
But
did
I'm,
watch a lot of her stuff too,
mm,
previously, but again, had never attempted a pearl.
mm,
Like I said, I had done the long tail cast on practice with my
mm,
neighbor, but we watched your tutorial so I would be consistent with how you were showing it.
mm,
Even though you do show English as opposed to continental, but that's
yeah.
an easy conversion.
Yeah. The
And
long
then
tail is the long tail, whether you're doing, continental or
oh, that's
English.
true. The long tail is just
Yeah.
the same. Yeah, that's
All,
true.
all the cast-ons are exactly the same, regardless of what you're doing. Same, pretty much, I would say, with casting off, all the same.
The bind offs,
Um,
okay.
yeah, binding off. Sorry, yeah, you call it binding off in the US. I keep forgetting that, which makes more sense because
Ah,
in
I
English
know.
knitting we say cast on, cast off. So if we try and abbreviate that, it's CO and CO. It's cast on, CO, cast off, CO. So yeah, it's probably better to have cast on, bind off, because at least then you can abbreviate it to CO and BO. But yeah.
Minimize the BO. No, just kidding.
But yeah, I'm just watching you now. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just watching
fine.
you, and I'm enjoying how well you're going.
Yeah, it's just really making myself push that in front.
And I've noticed too that your stitches are already coming much closer to the point, which is exactly where you
Yes.
need them.
Yes.
Yep. See,
Which
that's happened almost naturally, hasn't it? I don't think you've.
right. Right.
It doesn't look like you've forced that. That's just something you've just started doing because you realise it's
Right.
probably
It's just
easier to do the stitch when it's right at the tip or near the tip.
particularly with the purl stitch. It's like
Yes. Yeah.
it's like
Mhm.
it feels like you can't reach the stitch properly if it's too far back.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But just make sure
Always
your tension stays the same because they look a little bit tight. When
they're a
you
little
are
tight,
pushing,
yes.
yeah, I'll give you a tip. Make sure, like, so when you do that stitch and you pull it through the back,
Yeah.
make sure you push it right back on the needle before you do the next stitch, right? Like you push it down the right hand needle so that
So
it's gone to the fat part of the needle before you do your next
like
stitch.
push that there.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Okay.
right. Because
Okay.
what you're effectively doing is if you're knitting at the front stitch, on the thinner part, you're obviously going to have tighter tension because it's like going down a needle
Moving.
size.
Moving. Okay.
So it's just a matter
Got
of
it.
just sliding it down a bit to make sure that it goes all the
Okay.
way. Yeah. And then that'll be fine. That's a lot of but sometimes you need to actually do stitches if you're doing a cast off, I think, or if you're doing slip stitches. That's really always a lot easier if you do it sort of near point to point sort of thing. Just because push it down. Yeah, I'm watching.
Yep.
Yes, the wide part is the width of the stitch exactly.
Yeah,
Um,
right here.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's like with crochet. If you just sort of
Yes.
crochet with the head of the crochet hook, you're going to have different tension, tighter tension than you would if you let that stitch slide down the neck of the crochet hook a little bit. Hail, Sleigh Peter.
Oh, do you got that's high, I think.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I thought he was going to say hail to the king or something. I don't know. I don't know where he's from. I mean,
He
probably
is from
US.
New Jersey. No, Virginia.
Okay, so he's not going to be hailing the king.
No.
Oh, this teaching you knitting was really easy. Thank you.
Well, and you were able
And
to
I'm just,
see and, like, correct the mistakes that are natural mistakes
yep.
for people. I promise you I have not purled before tonight. I know it.
Yes, it is, Peter. It's a much more fun way to say hi. I agree.
Yes.
I often, when I start videos, I want to say Heidi hi, but I'm not sure how many British, not US people would get that. In England, you may know, I don't know, there what used to be a show called Heidi Hi, and it was
Oh,
all about holiday, old-fashioned
oops.
1950s, 60s, 70s holiday places for families would go. And what would happen is they would have these people that work there that would walk around and they would say, Heidi hi! And you would have to go, Heidi ho! Back. Um, ask your husband. I'm sure he would have heard about it and
Oh, yeah,
he'll
I'll
laugh.
ask him, yeah, 'cause
Ask
him
him.
growing up in the
Be-
UK, that's why she
yeah,
said that, for those of
yeah.
you who don't know that.
Oh, yeah. I was born in the UK. I emigrated to Australia when I was 7, which was in 1974, which means I
Okay,
think 59 this year.
well, that looks
I think I
pretty
turned
good.
59 this year. So, yep. Oh, see, look at that. Yeah, that looks good. Nothing wrong with that.
5, yep, I got 25 still, even with
Yep.
it where I'm and it's kinda interesting with the 2 rows, I like how that's looking, 'cause you
Mm,
do get to actually see the knit stitch that way a little bit.
yep. And obviously, you will read, you're already sort of noticing the knit stitch, which is the side is the knit stitch and which isn't the knit stitch.
Yes.
And that's perfect too, because if you can
Bumps.
read your stitches and know where the bump is and everything, it's just going to make life so much easier as well. When you come to doing sort of more intricate patterns or whatever, you're just going to be able to follow along so much easier. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you. I
Oh,
definitely.
I'm so impressed. I really am.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well
I
done.
I hear the Addy needles that Aridy's talking about are excellent. I've heard really good things about Addy needles in
Okay. I've
general.
actually heard bad things, interestingly, Artie.
About the rocket
Uh,
squared? Isn't that
about
what
the
you're using?
rockets. No, I'm using the Addy novel. Are you talking about the Addy interchangeable needles? Um, Artie, because these are bumpy. Like they've got little bumps on around the sides, and the corners are quite smooth. Norman from Nimble Needles, he actually did a tutorial on some square needles. They might not be the turbo ones, so excuse me if I'm wrong. Forgive me if I'm wrong. They're fixed or interchangeable. Okay, I think these ones he was showing. Oh, I think they were interchangeable. I'm not sure only. But yeah, check him out
Oh,
because he does all the stitch. He doesn't like, for example, he likes the Chiaogu,
the Chagos, yeah.
normal ones, but he doesn't like their Forte ones, the Chiaogu Forte.
I do have, because I was trying to be prepared. I had stoppers. Where's my stopper?
Oh yeah, I was going to say you need some stoppers. Always
I
handy.
have stoppers.
Yeah, I've got
Where are
some
my stoppers?
stoppers.
Let me grab I'll grab the ones that Jay, I don't know, she's probably gone. It's late at night for her, but Jay sent me these and she kind of got me motivated, I guess we'll call it. And then just
The squares. The thing that Norman found with the square needles, Linda, I'll try and quickly explain, is he said if they had a twisty cable on them, they were not so bad. But if they had a fixed cable on them like these, then what happens is sometimes the reason they're supposed to help your hands is the idea is you've got a flat surface attached to the side of the needle. And because you've got a flat surface to rest your thumb against, that takes pressure off your fingers. But he says quite often because of the the fixed fixed cables, they would twist, and then you'll find you're still putting your finger down then on the corner, not the flat part. But if you've got a twisty one, then you can actually put your finger flat on it. Because I couldn't understand why square needles would be more ergonomic, and that's what then he sort of explained, because you've got more of your thumb coming in contact with the needle, so you've got less stress on your thumbs and fingers. But also, if you look at it, depending on how you knit, sometimes, like if you've got your thumb on it, you might have the corner on your finger. And yeah, but once again, it's all everyone's personal preference. I've never had any problems with these. I don't understand why the bumps make them any more ergonomic. Really don't. But
right.
hey, whatever works for you works for you. And if you're happy with them, you're happy with them. You know? Yeah, I think that's probably what these are. The bumps are for, to help sort of reduce the slippiness, maybe. Maybe they're better for lace work and cotton work. It stops the yarn from slipping. Oh, you've got cute little hedgehog stoppers. Oh, I'm jealous.
Yeah, these came from Jay. She sent them.
Oh, beautiful. I love them.
She sent this yarn too, but in separate happy mails. So yeah.
All right. Well, we're probably finished, aren't we? Are we finished?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because
we're
you want
at,
to go to bed. You need to go to bed. It's only 2 in the
yes.
afternoon for me, but yeah,
Yeah,
I
well,
understand
it's
it's
10
very late
o'clock
for you
here,
folks.
but yeah, I do need to,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just two, how do you tell if it's knit or purl side? Okay, so
Okay.
this right here, this is the knit side. See how they're the V's?
Yep. Well done. Yep. V.
And
That's
these
the knit
bumpies
side.
are pearls.
Yep. Bumps are pearls.
These are knits.
Yep. Perfect. Yep. These are the knits. The knits have the V, and the bumps are, well, the
Oh,
pearl are bumps.
Jay is still awake.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
But yes, these are from Jay.
Yeah. So there you go. Well, you can just crack on with the knitting now. What are you going to make?
I don't know. Well, like I said, the eventual goal is a sweater. Obviously, I'm not doing
Yeah.
that anytime soon.
No.
Um, I'll have to really think about it. My
Yeah.
neighbor's making a bunch of vests for her family.
Idea. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I
Well,
have to think.
just keep watching videos on
Yes.
decreases and
Yes, because
increases and
there's a
that
lot
sort of
more to
thing.
learn. Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot more to learn. That would be your next step, I would say, increasing and decreasing. You know, decreasing is fairly well, both are
Okay,
fairly
wait.
easy.
What's Ivy's question here? We got to make sure we
Oh, sorry.
answer.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
I know how to tell what side I'm working on laying. No, I know that. How do you tell what side I'm working on after laying it down for a bit? Oh, so if I came back to this project, how would I know? So
You
when
want to
I'm
know how
yeah,
do you know what you should do next?
yeah, like when I'm picking it up. I haven't had picked this up in 2 days or whatever, or a week or
Well,
whatever
all
it
right.
might
We
be.
look right here. Right? You're looking right at this here. There's no bump. No bump here. Therefore, you have been knitting on this side. There are no bumps. Whereas if you look at Laurie's, there
Yes,
are bumps.
there's
And if
bump.
I turn the work around, you can see at the bottom of my loop, which is my stitch, I have a bump. And that tells me that is purled. So if I was, starting this row, I would do purl if I want to match the previous row.
So I'm picking this,
Is
like
that
when I pick this up, I come back to this project, I see where this yarn is. I'm looking at these stitches that are, this is at the end of,
Yep,
and these are pearls for
yep,
me.
yeah. Yeah. If you're working on or is it because you're working on circulars? If you're working on circulars, do you mean and you don't know which end? Just no, you would not. You're not asking that, I don't think. But
Okay,
no, I don't
bye,
think you're
Slay.
asking. Yeah. But yeah,
Oh,
obviously
Verity's up late
that
too.
also helps too where the yarn is. Like if you pick it up and the yarn is hanging out the back like that, then you are going to be knitting this row because the yarn is already at the back. If the yarn is like hanging at the front, like Laurie's is in her sample, that means she's finished with a purl row, and it's yeah,
And then whatever my pattern calls for next.
yeah. That's a good tip, Chris. Always
Yes,
finish a row, but if you
yes.
don't finish a row, yeah,
Put some
it,
kind of, I have stitch markers. Where are they?
yeah. If you don't finish a row and you're mid row, I'll just try and quickly just show you that. So you're knitting. All right, I'll just knit a few stitches. All right, so I like that. I put it down. I come back, and you're worried like your mid row. The working yarn has to be hanging off the right hand needle. Okay, this is my working yarn. It has to be hanging off my right hand needle. So I know I need to turn my work around
Okay.
so that it's hanging off my right hand needle. If I'm right handed, sorry, I should say that.
Yeah.
If I'm right handed, if I'm left handed, it would need to be on my left hand side. Okay, and then it's just down to the bumps.
And
If
then,
there's
yeah,
no
now you know
bumps
you're
here,
facing the right way. Okay, got
yeah,
it.
yeah, and then you're facing the right way. If your yarn is on your right hand side. But yeah, as Chris says, if you can finish a row, always finish a row. because quite often if you put them, you're knitting together like that and you put stoppers on, you can actually over time stretch these stitches, and
Right.
then you're going to have a
That
bit of
makes
uneven
sense.
tension in your project. And that might not matter for a scarf or a cowl or things like that, but it will matter more for
Like a
jumpers
sweater,
and
yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
jumpers, yeah.
and mittens and things like that. So I hope that helps.
A mittens, I could do mittens really quick because my hands are tiny.
You could, I mean, working in the round is just, well, you don't even have to work in the round. You could knit this
Oh, the
long
flat
enough.
panel. Yeah, 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 I've seen that.
Yeah, yeah. And just sew it up and then leave a hole, leave a gap where you don't sew up the side and stick your thumb through it. Easy peasy. So many times
Oh,
I've picked up my
yeah,
knitting and was going through the wrong way.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But that's the way to tell. Your working thread must always be hanging off a stitch on your right hand side if you are right handed. So if
Right.
it looks like this when you pick it up, this is wrong. Okay, and that's the way you can tell.
So
So
even
hopefully,
technically, it's on the right and I'm right-handed. It's on the right side because I just finished that row. It's on the right needle, but now when I go to the
yeah,
next row, I have to turn it. But
exactly. If you're halfway, I think
it's
Artie's
halfway
issue
is
is
way more of
if
a
she's
concern.
halfway,
Yeah.
yeah. If she's
Good
halfway,
night, Jay.
and she picks it up, like I
I'm
say,
about
yep,
to say good
this is
night
your
to you.
working yarn that goes to the ball. This must always be hanging off the right hand needle. Okay, so you just need to turn it around and make sure it's hanging off the right hand needle, and then you keep going with what you're doing. If there's no bump there, then it's knit.
I don't even know what that bag is doing there. All
Yeah, it'll
right.
be exactly, yeah, Artie. It'll be on the left if you at the beginning of the row. So if you, that's why I think
Right,
Chris was
because
saying
I'd be
finish your
flipping it,
rows.
right.
Yeah, because if you finish your row every time, you're not going to have that issue. Yeah. All right.
Right, but
We've
thank you
I've,
for
I've kept you
explaining
long
that.
enough. Yeah, I've kept you long enough. I've
Yeah.
kept everybody else for long enough. I do hope people have been encouraged to try. And please,
Yeah.
I'm there for questions. My email is on my about part of the page. I am on Facebook. Ask Laurie if you can't find my email. I'm happy for her to give that out.
Oh,
Email
okay.
me with your
Yes.
questions or anything like that. Very happy to do that to help anybody start knitting,
Yeah,
because I
Sam
think
is super,
it's
super helpful. She
it's
offered
something
to
we
teach me with, like, again, I have very, very little experience, and I've only tried the long tail cast on
yeah,
before
and
and
she's been a
knit
brilliant pupil.
once
But yeah,
before.
anyway, I'm going to say good night to
Yes.
you
Good
all,
night. Good
and
night.
yeah,
Good
good
afternoon
afternoon.
to you.
Yeah,
And
everyone
good
take
night to
care.
everybody else.
Yeah,
Bye.
have the best. Bye.
Oh, hi, Sonia.
Oh,
Yeah.
hi Sonia. Bye Sonia. Sorry.
And we'll get, you need your hugs from me, Ma Potato Head. Sorry, she's really big tonight. Thanks for coming in. Can I get an amen? And
Yeah.
hugs to you
Amen.
all. And remember, you matter and kindness matters.
Amen. Yeah.
And thanks for your help, Sam.
You're welcome. Anytime. Anytime.
All right. Bye, everyone. Yes. Thanks for all the encouragement, too.
You're welcome.
Okay.